What is up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and this is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining. We are 11 numbers away from 500, so thank you guys so much for your support. And with that being said, let me get started with tonight's review of an amazing episode of NXT, Another Night in New York City. By the way, be sure to check out some of my community posts where I post historic photos of city history from the past. Of course, tonight is a part two of WWE in New York City with NXT. We opened up with an amazing tag team match with Fraxium and the Hardy Boys. As I said before, it is always great to see Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy back in WWE. It's even greater to know that Jeff Hardy is in good condition. He is doing well with everything that he's gone through and all the demons that he has overcame. It is so great to see him back in action doing well. We had an amazing tag team match between Axiom and Fraser. But one of the highlights, besides Axiom and Fraser flying outside, was when Matt Hardy went for a twist of fate. That was no, Jeff Hardy went for the twist of fate, which was immediately followed by a reverse RKO combo. So that was amazing. The Hardy Boys would end up winning this match and retaining the TNA Tag Team Championships. We saw former TNA star Jordan Grace, now completely full time NXT, fend off Roxanne Perez despite hurting her leg. Speaking of which, I hope Cora Jade is not doing too bad. I saw her on I saw that she was on TNA last week after the leg pain, so that's a good sign. Also, we saw Eth- Eddie Thorpe, excuse me, we saw Eddie Thorpe get attacked by Trick Williams in NXT. Let me just say, the boos that Eddie Thorpe received tonight could kind of be a vibe reminding me of Showtime at the Apollo. And it for those of you who have never seen Showtime at the Apollo, it's also in New York City, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the things that would happen is if someone was really bad at singing or doing whatever talent show they were supposed to do, the fans would boo so loud that you would hear sirens playing and someone would come and escort them off the stage in a very comedic act. That's the energy I got when Eddie Thorpe was booed out of the theater of Madison Square Garden. First off, I did not know they fit Madison Square Garden, the arena, and the theater room all in one building. But awesome. I really did not know that. But in any event, moving forward, we also saw an appearance from one of my all time favorites, The Undertaker, as he gave words of encouragement to Obafemi as if he needed it. But Obafemi was encouraged to be the ruler of his yard. And boy, was he ever, as he went to defend the NXT title against another Nigerian Titan in TNA known as Moose. Why does Moose always look angry? But in any event, just kidding. Moose and Obafemi tore the house down. The first match tore the house down. The middle match between Oba and Moose completely tore the house down. It was a great match. In the end, Obafemi would defend the yard as he would successfully defend the NXT World Heavyweight Championship against the TNA X Division champion Moose. By the way, Moose does not look like he is an X Division man. I mean, I know X Division in TNA is supposed to be somewhat for lightweight and cruiserweight, but look at Moose. Does that look like a cruiserweight to you? Some of y'all just be stealing spotlights from the cruiserweight wrestlers. lightweight wrestlers. I'm just saying. Samoa Joe did the same thing. But in any event, great match between those two. We also saw Javon Evans finally get revenge on Ethan Page. First of all, that leaping cutter over the top rope through the table was a thing of beauty, as well as the ending match. I think that's the highlight of the whole match, to be honest with you. But of course, the ending in the ring with the flying RKO cutter onto Ethan Page with a chair attached to him, which is where it all started, is how Ethan Page would lose this match. Javon Evans getting his revenge. In small news, toxic fatal influence, if you will, continues to get on Ava Rain's last nerve. Why, I don't know. But nonetheless, I forgot to mention that while we congratulate Siobhan Evans for the victory, he was viciously attacked by a bunch of Shield and Retribution ripoffs. You take it's like processed meat. These guys are like processed meat. When you take the leftovers of Shield 2.0 and a failed Retribution angle, you get whatever the helicopter these guys are. So, in any event, Shield 2.0 ripoff Process Meat came in and attacked Javon Evans. But let's talk about the main event. Yeah, and by the way, Mickey James and Jada Parker had a great segment. Great, less than 5 minute segment. Great to see both of those two. Where was Bubba Ray Dudley? I must have stepped out during a commercial break because I did not see Bubba Ray Dudley tonight. Of course, what I did see is a great main event between two female wrestlers, Stephanie Vakir and Julia. Very great main event match. Booker T is still getting turned on by whatever that move is that Stephanie does where she bounces their opponent's heads. I guess he likes that move for the same reason that everyone else likes it, for lustful reasons, because they get to see Stephanie Vakir's backside. And that's the thing about certain wrestlers. I guess it's a wrestling fetish, if you will. But in any event, great match between Vakir and Julia. Another night on the couch for Booker T. Nonetheless, in the end, Julia and Stephanie Vakir will go at it. First of all, Julia countering that amazing move off the top rope by Stephanie Vakir was amazing. She countered it into an armbar, but in the end, it was Vakir who would win the match and become the North American and NXT Women's Championship winner. The last time we had a match of this magnitude was when Mandy Sachs, before she went to do other things, faced off against, I believe, it wasn't Statlander. It was someone else and Miko Satomura in a triple threat match to unify the women's championship and the women's UK championship. And I thought Satomura was going to win that one, but Mandy Sachs won it. And that was the last time we had a unification match with the women, according to my knowledge. But for now, tonight was a great episode of NXT, in my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought of tonight's episode of NXT. I thought it was amazing. By the way, fun fact, I'm wearing this shirt because we are in the mood for WrestleMania, and according to a lot of fans, they love him over him. And according to Scott Steiner on the talk show on YouTube, more stuff is coming out about Mr. Hulkster. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Dan Cody. That's all the time I have for you today, and I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. See you later, folks.